that night or the next day or something. And I said, he said something about congratulating me on this. And he said he had talked to Nick. And I said, well, JP, I made some sarcastic comment. I don't remember what it was anyway. So I'm gonna have to come. Yeah.
I think I saw a car out there. So.
Okay.
I did, Nancy. It was.
Hi. Good.
Too much work. I worked really behind that.
I did too. It wasn't.
You might have something. I'm already over it. Chances are I think it's
Huh? Yeah, you were like right there with my question. You were like, bam!
I was at Chick-fil-A.
I was waiting for the hammer.
I was at Chick-fil-A. I said, let me ask you like that.
No, I was.
Did you have the flu over Christmas?
Hi.
From Christmas till New Year's. Just now.
Was it the flu?
I don't think so.
Oh, good. Anybody
I
have
have
your
it,
Voices.
I have it every year.
Oh, the one that always comes?
You know, Slade.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. I saw a poster somewhere, so I'm glad I can't remember where I saw the poster now.
For the first 3 or 4 days, that was just a real.
You asked him.
Been ready.
Right, I told him.
And then it went straight.
Oh,
Did you have to go?
He applied and, my girl, she came a few times.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, both of them was.
hard. I love them both.
Both of them got it.
Okay, I killed one. And I said, well,
I didn't see
I told Mark.
There you go.
if anything.
So now, I have to wait.
How about any time after the audit?
You'll know.
We could just
my
make
name's
it
gonna change.
Yeah, the one said, newspaper don't have nothing.
Huh?
You won't have that hyphenated newspaper.
That's right. What are you doing? Oh, I'm working on a divorce, so when you see the name suddenly shift, just West.
Nancy what? Nancy West?
Yeah, West
Oh,
was the
okay.
maiden name. The fact that Bill West is also West has nothing to do with me from the
Is
telephone.
Ghost still hunting y'all at the graphic?
What?
Is Ghost still hunting you at the graphic?
Oh, we've been seeing
I
lately.
read Joanne's column.
That was the cutest name.
I had to give it-
Oh, did you read Julian's column on the last week about the ghost coming over?
Okay, it comes over from where?
Well, because they knocked down the building near us that used to be a graphic building, and all of a sudden this stuff started happening in our place, and we were like, he's here, you know? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you gotta check it out. Oh, cool. Hi.
It's something what?
That's a little too close for comfort zone. As long as they stay in your building, that's fine. But then, how long was the commissioner meeting today? When the commissioners? That's fine. I watched a little bit of it, but I don't have time to sit there and watch the whole thing.
Well, I'll give you all the highlights.
That's all your questions.
Oh, well, I just do that now. And Joanne's like, you didn't press it.
How you doing?
Press an opinion.
All right, how are you?
Good, good, good. What you got?
What I do. I just wrote a full story, so we're just gonna have this. That's what I'm saying. It changed visiting hours at the hospital. There's running around.
Nancy, you got to the commissioner's room today?
Did I have it today?
Did you get to it?
Yes, all 4.5 hours.
I watched all 4.5 hours.
She made comments,
I watched from 9 to we went off.
she made comments on the public comment section. In the public hearing, she spoke.
Which one?
For the,
I saw Miss Berlin from down our way spoke twice during the public hearing.
I asked questions technically.
yeah, you did, right.
See, I had watching the rezone, so
Seems like right here, them lanes gonna be collected by tax revenues. Each one of them costs $5 grand.
I don't know that. I know that he said that it could cost $5 grand depending on what the case was. But I think the page 2 answers your questions. This is what I'm reading right here.
Okay.
This goes to actually taken to 116.
Pam, I finally got to the.
Oh, did you enjoy it?
I went to the place
Dreams.
Oh, did you?
yeah, and my partner and I came in second.
Is it doing?
Where,
Okay,
where
but
did
did
this
you
come
enjoy
from?
the food?
This is according to the state law.
Oh, yeah, those pierogies are good.
Yeah, but we had a discussion on the phone.
I don't know if this is based off of your questions. You have an ink pen either?
Yeah, I got one.
I got a pencil. I did not sign this last time.
What is that?
Yeah, I went and played trivia. It's every other. Yeah, yeah.
Hey, I'm so crazy.
I'll lose it up here with all this stuff. Thank you.
No, there's only two. I complained about the lack of literature. Oh, no, we didn't, yeah, I didn't see that they awarded anything, but we just ended up signing.
Still not seeing the agenda.
We can't.
Is there an agenda for today? That's first. I haven't seen one for that one. Aren't these
She
supposed
emailed them
to?
at the same time.
Did you get an agenda in your email?
No.
They came out the
Did you get it?
What?
The agenda in the email?
Yeah.
I don't have it.
But now, I'm gonna tell you, Miss Lucas had trouble getting it because it was, the file was too large.
You didn't get it
It took me a
either?
long time to print
It didn't come through.
I didn't get it.
So did you call up here and tell them?
No, I just asked Kyle if he got one earlier. I just now asked him.
I had trouble too.
Yeah.
So what did you do, Nat?
Yeah, I think Brenda didn't get it, but I think she came up here and got one, but I don't think Kyle has one either.
Are you sick? Okay.
I got,
We have a
I got a whole
6-year-old?
freaking
And I heard the
backpack for it.
It is bad.
real bad.
Steve's been sick. Well, okay.
I'm not going overboard.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Hello. How are you doing,
Happy New Year. Happy New Year, miss.
Thank you, same
Hey,
here.
same to you.
So what you do, Stephen? Nothing.
It's
Brenda.
6:30.
So what did you do? Nothing.
I didn't get anything.
It is 6:30.
Well, you have to let them know.
Good evening, everyone. It is 6:30, so we're starting our Board of Adjustments meeting for tonight. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. If we'll please stand and face the flag. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Okay, so we've called the meeting to order, and there's a special use permit to maintain a storage container for 301 Wilder Drive, parcel ID 008593. And we have the special use permit form completed and filled out, all the questions answered and signed. And then we have the recommendation from the town manager. And I don't know if any of you had time to go by and look at it, but I believe there's a picture. Yes, there is the picture also.
I got this email, yes.
Okay. That's print, yep, so there's a printed copy of everything, did it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
looked at it.
Okay. All right, and so something that we actually need to put on this agenda is, I am not the chair for this. Commissioner Drew Griffin was the chair for the Board of Adjustments. And so we actually need to, I guess, nominate Attorney Edwards. Would we do it through the nomination process? Yes. Okay, and so we just, if Michelle will give us a little piece of paper, we can write down that. We'll need to pick a chair for the Board of Adjustments.
If you do it that way, you just gotta put your name on the piece of paper and your vote,
Okay, cool.
and it's public.
To nominate someone, no.
Correct.
To nominate
Well,
someone.
yeah, I'm going about, so when you're voting, if you decide to vote by paper ballot, you can do that, but you gotta put your name on the ballot and who you're voting for, and that's public.
Right.
Right, but now yes, now you need to take nominations.
Okay. Where did you get paper? You just tore it off
I just
that?
tore it off of here. Take that one.
Split it? Okay.
Is the floor open for nominations now?
Correct.
I nominate Pam Brantley.
Okay. We got a nomination for Ms. Pam Brantley over here to be the chair for the Board of Adjustments. Would anyone else like to nominate someone out loud, or would everyone like to just write their vote?
You don't need a second, yeah.
You need a second.
No, you don't need a second.
Oh, you
Not
don't?
a
You just
nomination.
nominate, just whoever you want to nominate, then the board will vote on the nominees.
Okay.
You got a little piece of paper? You want to split this one?
Well, here's some more.
If you end up closing nominations with no nominee, then you don't need a vote.
Just a piece of paper.
Do we need to write this down if it's just?
If there's only one nominee and nominations are closed, then you don't take a vote.
Okay, has everybody had a chance to write their vote down on a piece of paper?
No, I haven't.
You got to close nominations.
You got to close the nomination.
I make a motion that
hadn't clo-
nomination be closed on the said one name.
What's that?
I make a motion that the nomination be closed on the said one name.
It's still just by paper ballot, so whoever we
Right, but you
vote.
got to close nominations.
But I had to close the nomination.
Okay, so we hadn't had a second on that, so we didn't give
Correct.
anybody else an opportunity to nominate anyone.
But we've been sitting here the whole time. My
It's
God.
only been 4 minutes.
Right,
We
so you
need to see if anyone else wants to actually nominate anybody.
well, there's a motion on the floor. so
There is a
it's-
motion on the floor, so is there going to be any discussion or nomination? Does anybody want to nominate anyone else?
You got to see if there's a second to the motion.
Okay, there's no second.
Has that motion been seconded?
It has not been seconded, so it's dead.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna nominate Steve.
Okay,
Nominate who?
Steve.
Steve. You need a piece of paper.
okay, to speed this up,
You gotta close the
we'll just go
nomination.
ahead and close out the nominations. So we'll get a motion this time to go ahead and close the nominations. If we can get a second to move on.
Second.
Thank you, Commissioner Lucas. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. All right, we'll just pass them on down.
And just, Michelle needs to make sure your name, the commissioner's name is on it and their vote.
It's the order you gave them to me in.
Oh, okay. Okay,
My name is on
And this should be yours.
okay.
Okay.
Okay, so, do you want me to read what each person voted, or just who won
Right.
the nomination?
Guess who won?
Pam Brennan is the chair.
How is that?
Okay.
How is that, though? You're supposed to read the votes.
Okay, Steve voted for Steve, you voted for Steve, Antonio voted for Pam, Pam
No, I
voted for
voted for-
Pam.
He didn't.
Antonio, Tony, Pam,
Nah, but I changed that when it was only one I just wrote. I voted for Steve.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, and Steve is the.
He did
When it was one
Wait a
person,
minute.
I voted for Pam.
Well, I need,
You wait a minute, back up here. You did what now?
When it was only one person nominated, I voted for Pam. Then when y'all passed the papers back, I guess he gave you the wrong paper.
Who passed the paper up here?
y'all give it to me, where's the paper that says, Steve?
No, they had Pam. It should say Steve on it.
Says Pam.
Well, that ain't the one that I wrote, cause I had Steve's name on this one. I went back and did it again. I put,
Wait, let me.
So who
Yeah.
is it? Which one?
I voted for Steve.
You might have thought you did.
Nah, you see this right here? When I had Steve's name up there, I marked it out. When it was one person, I put Pam.
He
Show
thought
that-
the nominations were closed.
Show that to her.
It's just over, he wrote Steve up there. And then he thought the nominations had closed out, because he wrote that as soon as he.
That's irrelevant now. What's relevant is what he passed down here. Am I right or wrong?
That we didn't, we agreed on it, but that wasn't who I voted for. And we didn't make a motion on it to take it, so it is relevant. 'Cause you have to second. So we voted down there. a
What's the
motion.
protocol in that lawyer?
Generally, the town, I honestly
one
I don't know
commissioner
what Robert's
said the-
rules,
I don't need but this.
I don't know how Robert's rules handles it.
We have a commissioner that has a paper that they are simply saying that they sent the wrong one in. He explained why he did that. He thought that the nominations were closed, so he didn't think that there was another choice. But then the other paper clearly had Steve's name written on it
Well,
as his,
can I suggest that you ask, is there any objection to allowing Commissioner Tony to change his vote that he turned in? And see if there's any objection. If there is no objection, that settles the matter. If somebody objects, then I need to figure out we need to figure out what
okay,
happens next.
so let's ask,
So once again, I'm recommending that you ask the 4 Board of Adjustment members if
For a
anybody.
recommendation
or
or-
if it does anybody, of the 5 members, does anybody object to allowing Commissioner Tony to change
as
his
Attorney
vote?
Edwards said.
I object because he passed it down
Okay,
here.
so there's an objection, okay.
So we have one.
Yeah, so then we need to figure out.
What's
what-
that?
Well,
What's the Robert rule?
okay, I don't know, honestly.
And at the board's pleasure, they could simply just make a motion if they want to accept the vote as he expressed.
Yeah, because I think I know
So
where
someone
this
could
is
make a
gonna,
motion that-
because I know where it's
that
gonna
be
go, then I think, the mayor, you as the one who's provisionally chairing the thing, have made a ruling that you believe he should be able to change his vote. And,
Well, not change it. It was,
well, change the one that he turned in. And, if that's what you rule, if somebody wants to make a motion to appeal the ruling of the chair, they can, and then we'll take a vote on that. And since you objected, I guess, I mean, if you want to make a motion to appeal the ruling of the chair, we'll take a vote, and we'll see how that vote goes.
I make a motion to appeal the ruling of the chair.
Okay, so the chair ruled that Commissioner Tony could change his vote. There's been a motion to not allow that, and so there's a motion, you should see if there's a second. If there's a second, then take a vote on that motion.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we're going to go for a vote. All in favor of appealing the decision of changing the vote and continuing with what was written on paper. That's what we're voting on. We have a first and a second.
If you favor not allowing Commissioner Tony to change the vote he turned in, you should vote yes. If you
want him to be able to put his vote as Steve, then they would say no or not.
That's right. If you believe that the mayor's decision to allow the vote to be changed is correct, you should vote no. So if you want to change the mayor's ruling, you should vote yes. If you want to stick with what the mayor said, then vote no.
Okay, so we're going to call it to a vote. So we have, and we'll do it just by show of hands. All in,
You got the rule pulled up.
Hey,
Right. I don't think that doesn't change anything I've said.
okay.
at this point. So, okay, first and a second, all in favor to appeal? You gotta raise your hand for your own motion. Okay, so we have a split vote. It's a tie.
Well, take the votes for no, just so it's recorded.
So we got a tie.
You gotta say it.
Well, you still need to take their vote. Do they, get them to
Oh,
say
yeah,
no?
yeah. Yes or no? Do you-
What are you asking?
So she appealed the decision to allow him to vote for you.
Okay.
So if you raise your hand, then you're saying, okay, we're not gonna allow the paper to be changed to what he just verbally told us he wanted it to be.
That's your question. Did you pick up the wrong paper when you passed on that?
I probably could have.
Okay, I'm just asking. But we got a camera right there, right?
Well, we're just
That was
taking
the
it.
purpose of the camera, right?
I could have.
I know. Okay.
So,
Why was they passed back anyway?
what passed back?
Y'all took them down there and then y'all passed them back. What was they?
I didn't write my name on my ticket. I had to write my name on it. And so she was passing them back in order.
Well, just so that the clerk has, so the record's right, so the vote was 2-2, the motion failed. So the ruling of the mayor is adopted, and Commissioner Brumfield is the chair.
Okay.
Does everybody follow?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so now that we have taken care of the chair for the Board of Adjustments, you guys have that special use permit. I'll pass it over to Chairman Brumfield with that just one single agenda item there. Any questions or discussion? And if I may, Chair, if I may speak, if I may speak, please. The quickest and biggest thing I note with this about removing the storage container is that we impose fines on someone already for a storage container. And so we already have a pattern of what the town does. And at the same time, I'm a big property rights person as well myself. And so I'm often personally stuck in the middle when it comes to code enforcement. It's a very tough job. It's a very tough thing to do. That's really my comments. It's a tough decision for the board.
I have a couple questions. Number one, we did levy fines, from my understanding, in the upwards of 7,000, maybe more, for someone who had this is a shipping container, had a shipping container in their yard. Now I don't know whether that's been paid, whether that's been dealt with or handled a long time ago, but yeah, if that's the case, then they're asking for permission to leave their container. I believe I know where this one is, and I think I've seen it. I don't know if it's in their driveway or their yard, but, I mean, that's essentially what they're asking for, just permission to continue to use it there, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
So the special use permit would essentially allow them to keep it there, which would be the opposite of what the town's already enforced.
All right. So I think where we are is that, on the agenda is an application for a special use permit, and, there needs to be a hearing on that application. And, so I think, we need to take a motion to enter into the hearing and do that. And then once you do that, then you should hear the evidence from the staff and then hear the evidence from the applicant.
Is the applicant here tonight? Hello, sir. Thank you for being here. Good evening.
So motion to enter into the hearing, Nick?
Hmm?
Got to make a motion to enter into a hearing?
Yes.
But you're chairing, so you should find somebody to make a motion.
I can make a motion that we go into a hearing on the matter on the agenda item 2 on tonight's Board of Adjustment agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We are in a hearing. Attorney Edwards, can you just give us a little bit of information to everyone, what's available at this time for them to do?
I'll be glad to, but really, I think, so now you should hear from the town staff. And once you hear from the town staff, you should hear from the applicant. And the applicant should be given an opportunity to present whatever evidence I guess he should first be sworn in. Do we have a Bible? So he should be sworn in, and he'll be given testimony. He can have anybody else that he wants to give testimony. And once he gives his testimony, any of the Board of Adjustment members can ask him questions. And after he finishes with his testimony and any of his witnesses' testimony, then when you're ready to conclude the hearing, you close the hearing. And when you close the hearing, then you can have discussion and make a motion on how you want to handle the special use application. So I think the next step should be asking the town staff to make its presentation.
Is this me?
Yeah.
Who's here, who's going to represent the town?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So according to the town's ordinances, storage containers are not a permitted permanent use, and so they would require a special use permit from this board in order to become a permanent use. So gentleman at 301 Wilder has been maintaining a storage container and has made application to this board.
I just speak.
I don't know the rules.
Let's
Can you
first-
come to the mic and just
And I
state
guess
your name
first,
and address?
Well, if we could walk over to the clerk and let her swear you in.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth?
Yes, ma'am.
and nothing but the truth?
So help me God. Like I said, I don't know the ruling, but I had the container there. I know when I first moved there, I put it there. And I didn't know we had, if I'd have known that, I would've tried to build a storage shed. Well, see, now I got all my personal stuff in there. That means I got to try to find some way to put it. I mean, I got a lot of stuff. I mean, worth a lot of money, and then I'm going to put it out in the open.
Yeah, I noticed the cameras.
Yeah.
Very secure. That is tough. This is always the toughest decisions on this Board of Adjustments. The toughest
I
decision.
mean, I know you got the rules and you got to do what you got to do, but you know.
Could we hear from the code enforcement on this?
Yeah, you just swear him in.
And if you wanted to speak later, you could, if, speak after he spoke or whatnot. It's still open for you.
Good evening, Surveyor and Commissioners. Yes, sir.
Good evening. How are you?
Good, sir.
Welcome.
Any questions?
Oh,
Mr. Ewing?
just if you wanted to speak on how it's relevant to what the town's already enforcing, just kind of a quick, brief overview
Yes, sir.
of how it's already been enforced, what's going on.
We sent a letter out to, I can't call his name, Mr.
Hopkins.
Arthur Lee, I believe. Mr. Arts, we sent a letter out to inform Mr. Arts that he was in violation of the town zoning ordinance for a zoning violation. stating that he would have to either come before the Board of Adjustments to get approval, to have the special use permit, to have the shipping container, or either have it removed. He did file comply with what the letter said. He came and applied the application, so that's why we have an evidentiary hearing tonight for you guys to make a decision. But we did do this for everybody else who had one, and he decided to do the application and turn it in.
Okay.
entertain any
What
questions.
was the outcome or the result of the previous ones?
Same situation. We sent out a letter informing the applicant had a hearing. We told the person in violation to come to the town. They came to the hearing. We told them they would need to submit an application for a special use permit. They did not submit it in time, so they ended up removing the shipping container. But Mr. Lee, he got the same letter. He called, asked him what he needed to do. We told him the procedures. He came and submitted the application for special use.
That you know of, is it just been one previous case or multiple?
This is the second case in the town that we have
Second
had.
case in the South?
Right.
I want to ask Mr. Artis a question, if you don't mind. When did you move in your house?
15 years ago.
When did this law go into effect, this ordinance go into effect?
3.
May of 2024.
About
Okay,
storage
thank
container?
you.
You are,
Well, there's always been language about regulating a storage container. I don't know what the first while law was, but it was never, I don't believe, a permanent use, even under the old ordinance.
Right, there was an old ordinance in place that may have, that we're not sure exactly what the old ordinance says, but because this is chapter 24, 26.
26.
Yeah, so chapter 26, the whole chapter 26 was adopted as a brand-new chapter. It incorporated a lot of things that were in there before, but it was a brand-new chapter. So the ordinance that we're looking at for this particular case was adopted in May of 2024.
So that means the container that Mr. Harris had was there before also.
Well, you said he lived here 15 years, but when did the container go in?
It's 24.
When did you, when did you put the shipping container
as
there?
soon as I could move in the house, the container came up.
So 15 years ago?
15 years ago.
Okay, thank you.
You are-
That's grandfathered in.
I think so.
Okay, so we've had comments from the property owner that has a storage container. We've heard from, thank you for speaking tonight. Thank you for being here tonight. I'd like to hear from, we also heard from town manager, thank you. And Attorney Edwards, I'd like to ask you from a legal point of view, this is a big scale. We've got one property that was fined multiple thousands of dollars. And,
That shouldn't be a factor in this case.
okay.
That shouldn't be considered at all, if you're asking me.
Does that not set a precedent?
No, I mean,
I mean, if we were to allow this, would it not set a precedent for?
well, if I understood they were treated the same, if I understood from the code enforcement officer, they were treated the same.
That's correct, Attorney Edwards. Yes, sir.
Oh, yes, public. Yes, Attorney Edwards.
Yes.
To confirm, this is public where anyone could speak, correct?
No, it's
Or is this just the board of
quasi-judicial.
Okay, this is the actual.
So this is, it's
Yeah,
a
this is
judicial
quasi-ju- yeah.
hearing. The parties involved are the town and the landowner. And so the landowner has made an application, and then this board is charged with the responsibility of seeing whether or not he has met the requirements of the ordinance. You can't use your full judgment about what should or shouldn't be allowed on a piece of property. What you have to judge is what the ordinance is and whether or not he meets the requirements of the ordinance. And whether you like it or not, if he meets the requirements of the ordinance, you're bound to give him that. And it is public in the sense that everybody can sit here and listen to it, but it is not public in the sense that it's not open to the public.
To speak.
And this is true for all quasi-judicial hearings, if the applicant, and this is true for like variances, the applicant presents their evidence, if their evidence meets the requirements, then that's all that matters. And so what the public opinion is, I hate to say this, doesn't really matter in this case because the ordinance is what it is. And the question is, has he met the requirements of the ordinance? And public opinion doesn't really play into that. So that's what's happening right now.
Congrats, that was very good. Thank you,
may-
Attorney Edwards.
This may come as a silly question, but let's just say we adopt a new ordinance that says we can't have blue houses. So what happens to all the blue houses? Do they have to change their color? If this is something before that ordinance was, we have no way of knowing what the ordinance was, like Pam was suggesting. What the ordinance was 15 years ago when they put the container there. So if the ordinance changes midstream, does people have to change? I'm not sure how we handle that.
There is an ordinance in the Spring Hope ordinances, as is typical in almost every municipality, that if you have a pre-existing non-complying property, it's grandfathered in. But the town does have an option. If you were passing a new ordinance, you don't have to do that. You can make people come into compliance.
Okay.
And the big thing in Spring Hope that happened was the parking rules that when Spring Hope, it was before, what was it, like 2019, around there, the town passed ordinances of changing the parking rules. And the town also said, the board also said, when it passed those rules, that anybody who did not comply with the parking rules had to come in compliance. Just because you were pre-existing non-compliant, you weren't grandfathered in. So it is typical that most of the time, non-complying properties are allowed to remain non-complying, but that's a town decision. That's a decision that the board's making. And if the board ever wanted to not make something grandfathered in, it could do that as well, if it wanted to. Well, I guess
So if that's what you want to do, you would just make a motion to accept the special use permit and allow.
No, first you
That's
got to
what-
close this hearing, I think.
We do, yeah.
We need to close.
You want to do that?
Yeah,
And
so yes,
Mr.
correct.
Artis, have you, I want to make sure,
Yeah.
have you had a chance to say everything that you would like to say?
Well, I got a question. I seen how they made them, when you come into Spring Hope, they put up the fences so you can see all the log trucks. I mean, I can put a fence around and hide it. I mean, if you don't want to see it, that's the problem. I mean, I'm just trying to keep my property safe, man. That's all.
So it could be approval with condition of offense?
If that's what you were wanting,
No.
if you were looking at something like that, then you can make a motion after we close the hearing
Yeah, close the
to
hearing.
table this matter, to let the code enforcement officer work with him to come up with an agreement to bring back to the Board of Adjustment next month. Or you don't have to do that. I'm not expressing an opinion of what you should do.
Thank you for explaining.
But that's kind
the-
of, if you want to go
the
down that
options.
route, that's the way to go.
I appreciate you being here.
You may not want to go down that route.
Yep. So we can accept it, we can entertain, a motion to close this hearing if there's nothing else you'd like to add, and if everyone else has added what they feel.
I have a question.
Mr. Manager,
Wait a
anything
minute,
else you
Mr.
want to add?
Justice got a question.
So would you be willing to put up a building now? Storage building now? Somebody said, not now?
I mean, I would have
what?
to go, I would say I would have to borrow some money to try to build one now, cause I'm getting ready to retire.
You can make that motion.
Close it out.
Is that it?
All right, so if we can get a motion to close the open hearing,
Make a motion to close the open hearing.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you, commissioners. Okay, so now it's back into you guys' ball court now, if you want to make a motion. Accept the special use, or anyone like to make a motion?
I want to make a motion that we grandfather it in. He had it 15 years. He pays his taxes. Brenda Lucas said, one of the commissioners said, what we do for one, we do for all. So that's my recommendation, that he's grandfathered in. He shouldn't even have to have a permit. It's been there 15 years. So the motion is that it be grandfathered in.
Which would it be accepting the special use permit as written?
I mean, has he paid for the permit already? Okay, yeah.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor that the special use permit be granted and grandfathered in as explained. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Okay, then what I recommend is then you ask the town manager to draft the permit with the work of the code enforcement officer with the proper findings for the Board of Adjustment to approve the written permit at the next meeting.
Perfect.
So, you should probably ask if there's any objection to that, then we can talk about it. If there's no objection to that, that's what we'll do.
Mr. Manager?
So you haven't made any of the findings, you haven't discussed that according to the ordinance. So you should probably make some of those findings before you actually have a vote. Because I can't just put those into the.
Already voted.
We grandfathered it in, it's already voted in.
You're not understanding, Commissioner Tony. There are certain findings that this board has to make in order to grant a special use permit by your own code. You have to make some of those findings or find that, it's not in conflict with those findings. Then you can put those in the decision.
But it's a special use permit to
I understand
to go through those steps. That's what this is ultimately for, is to.
Right, but you should be making some of those findings in your deliberations.
The commissioners chose not to.
Grandfathered it in, we've been there 15 years.
I can't draft a document that doesn't make the findings. You can just, Attorney Edwards can draft something for you that's suitable.
I can work on that. Yeah, I'll work on that.
Thank you, Attorney.
So just so the record is clear, the board has voted to indicate it favors approving the special use permit, but the special use between now and the next month's Board of Adjustment meeting, I will draft a written permit with the findings that you need to find for you to look at and finally approve at the February Board of Adjustment meeting. That's where we are. We're all good?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right, okay. I think we're good.
Correct. Thank you. Okay, Mr. Chair, that concludes the first item.
A motion to adjourn.
Okay. I'll make a second.
Second?
All right, call for a vote. Chairman?
All in favor?
Aye. Motion carries adjourn special. So you are free to go. You're no longer captive. And there'll be communications before the next meeting. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Artis.
Any way to get a copy of the agenda?
Hey.
I think
Yeah.
I can also resend it to you, Steve.
I mean, you can try. I mean, my email up, but I don't know why I didn't get it.
Now, because this thing is
December 31st.
Are we taking a break?
Is it 7 o'clock?
It's past 7 o'clock.
I doubt it. I don't know what you're gonna do.
Are we taking a break before the next meeting? Because it's past 7 o'clock.
Yes, we just finished our Board of Adjustments meeting. We're going to take a quick break here. We're going to give the commissioners just a few minutes to get settled in and close out from that last meeting and pull up the new documents. So we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. That'll put us starting at 7:10, okay?
Good man.
The special use permit itself, with the proper findings. That they will need to consider, they will have to make some further findings at the next meeting. Well, whether or not the permit, if it's conducive to the surrounding property, whether or not it harms anybody.
Yeah, but, as far as
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, ma'am.
Correct.
You are, yes.
but another one.
I'm glad you're here to present the other side.
Well, I was just trying to have it going off the
I understand
You're
that.
correct, you're correct, you're correct.
You're supposed to make those findings during the evidentiary hearing.
Yeah. With the emphasis on supposed to. Yeah, I don't know, yeah.
So do you have a court date?
Hold on, wait a minute.
Man. Yeah, I bet you know. Mm-hmm. For sure.
Andrew, did you see that email from Sam?
I did, I responded. I'm gonna try and get him up and running in a second. Zoom had to download an update.
It should be right on there. This lady, Kimberly Ward, you have
Run that.
Okay, I'm cutting the button back on.
Sorry, I missed it. It was. Okay. I don't. Was it?
It was the same time.
Yes, probably so.
Sticky note on.
Right there.
Look, my mom just asked me today. She wanted me to ask
I wasn't prepared for that.
Well, now, at least now you
I
know.
was just sitting here like, please don't nominate her. And then he did. I was like, well, she showed me.
Probably picked the wrong time to want to be the chair or something.
Well, I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
I mean, what am I supposed to do here?
Thank you for taking care of that. Thank you. Can you pass that to Michelle?
Yeah, to Michelle, please.
Thank you, Michelle. They make it easy, don't they? Huh? I reckon. They make it easy.
They try.
So very hard. Okay, it is 7:10. Thank you all for the break. We're going to call the meeting to order, and we'll start with standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to address this gentleman right here. I'm a military man, an ex-Vietnam veteran. I appreciate you taking your hat off when you're talking to my flag. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're going to go to the first item on the agenda. Before that, I actually want to say a quick prayer, if that's okay with everyone. If you'll please bow your heads, we'll pray. God, we do come to you tonight, and we thank you for these commissioners that are here that have committed, and they are providing their public service, and that they are carrying out their duties and their due diligence. And God, I thank them. You thank them. We have seen the teams that have grown across town. We have seen the people that have united and come together to make things better for Spring Hope. And I know that pleases you to see these people coming together and working towards a common goal. And God, I ask that you lead us during this meeting and you guide us during during this meeting, that it may go smoothly, and that we may make the best decisions for the town of Spring Hope and the residents that live here and their quality of life. Forgive us of our so many sins. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. So we're going to start with the first item on the agenda, which is the public forum. And the first one to speak is Miss Jeanette Busher. Would like to talk about conditions of other properties around 207 Hopkins Avenue. And if you'd like to come forward, we'd love to hear from you. Thank you for being here.
Do I need to get sworn in?
No, that was one of the board.
Oh, hi. Good evening, Commissioners, and thank you for taking, the time out for hearing me. I have copies of my concern.
And if you will, just pull the microphone down to where you can kind of hear yourself if you're talking to it.
Good evening.
Is it on?
Good evening. Wait a minute, do I need to press something on here? Testing, 1, 2, 1, 2.
I hear it, that's on.
I hear it.
You can hear me?
I heard it, that's on.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for the read along.
Copy of my concern. I had purchased, my name is Jeanette Butcher, and I have property here at Spring Hope, beautiful property at 207 Hopkins Avenue. It's on the market, it's been on the market for a while. When I purchased my home in 2004, the previous owner said that the property across the street was a work in progress, basically. And there looked like a lot of activity going on over there. And the plans to be remodeled inside and out. The house is like over 100 years old. And it appears that all renovation activity has ceased. Instead, the property has increasingly become a collection site for vehicles and miscellaneous items, on the front porch. My home is currently on the market. My realtor has hosted several open houses and has interested buyers. However, there has been hesitation to move forward with offers due to uncertainty surrounding the situation across the street. The reoccurring questions from potential buyers are, what is going on with the neighbor across the street? At the end of my street is a sign that reads Historic District. When I looked at the meaning of what that means, it says, living in a historic district means your area is protected for its historical architectural significance, requiring you to follow specific local design rules and guidelines. For any exterior changes, windows, paints, additions to preserve neighborhood character, often needing permits and sometimes more expensive specialized work. I have several questions for the town of Spring Hope. Like, who's responsible for overseeing and enforcing the guidelines within the town limits, including those specific to the historic district? Additionally, what actions are currently being taken to enforce these guidelines? And there is a timeline or deadline, is there a timeline and deadline for compliance? So I'm concerned about my property investment and would appreciate reassurance that the town of Spring Hope prioritizes the interests and well-being of its residents. Thank you for your time and attention to this matter. I'd like to add that I did speak to the owner Saturday in person. We've had a nice, he's very friendly. And I just said, Mr. Harris, is there I really need your help. Can you help me with something? And he said, yeah, sure. So I said, can you remove your items and put them in the backyard? Just because I've had, haven't been able to sell my house because people are concerned, because when I first moved in here, you have some items on your front porch, but now you've got the golf cart right under your front porch. Can you move everything to the back? They're really, they're concerned about that. He goes, no, I can't. And he goes, I don't have a porch to put everything under. And I said, well, can you put a tarp over it? And he said, well, the town hall said I can't do that. I can't throw tarps over items in the backyard. And I thought, oh, wow, okay. Then he said, I built a shed and they told me to tear it down. I had gotten a permit for it and that still didn't work. And I said, well, is there any way at all that you could work with me on this? And he goes, no. And I said, well, I guess I'll have to talk to my agent. He goes, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. And so I thought, well, I'm hearing about, he has a container in the back of his property. And I'm listening to this, this evening about, the special use application. It sounds like, I don't know, something there, I wasn't being told that something there was missing, so I kind of did a little bit of research and found out that he has a container, and it sounds like he didn't follow the proper enforcement code. He didn't take it seriously, and if he would have, I guess, submitted the special use application, to get a permit to have a container there, he could have moved everything on the front porch into the container. Is that me?
No, it's not you. I'm trying to get the audio right to get you well, but.
So, I found that I wasn't the only one, I guess, who had come before you to see, what can be done about that, because I have lost money on the property, and I do have interested buyers, but I understand that he's broken some codes, and I don't know what you guys can do to help me move forward on this. Maybe, if he speaks here tonight, that he could just submit a special enforcement application and move forward.
Is that what you would prefer?
Yes, I mean, if he has a container back there, and his thing is, he says he can't, if it's raining, he had wood piled up on the front porch, some boards, and I said, can you move it out back? He goes, no, because it'll get wet, and that can't get wet, so it's like he doesn't have anything to put it under except for the front porch. And, I feel like he's tried, but for some reason, I guess he's not getting in the paperwork that he should on a timely basis or whatever, so if he, hopefully would agree to maybe submit that to the town hall, that, because it sounds like he wants to get rid of it, but he doesn't have anywhere to put it, but but if he has a container already, I'm thinking maybe it's full already, and he doesn't have room, because he should have been able to move all that in there, so I don't know.
Mr. Code Enforcer, is there a container on that property?
It's 206 on the inside.
Not at the present moment.
Not at the current moment. It was removed. Okay.
Or move to the location where we can see, I don't know this one. It was removed from the side where we can see.
And so in the normal ordinances, it's not allowed or accepted. It's a violation of
Okay.
code enforcement. And then the special use permit, it was the vessel you saw used previously for storage container.
He said he did build a shed, and he got a permit for it in advance, but for whatever reason, it got taken down, so I don't know about that, but, so I don't know what we could do to,
I definitely understand, the emotion and the problem that you're expressing here tonight. And you saw we were just addressing this a few minutes earlier.
yeah, and I have photos, maybe get an idea. Should I start here and then?
Yeah, that'll be fine. And we're running out of time. We have other people to speak, and
Yeah, so
we
this is
definitely want to hear from you, though.
Yeah, this is basically what it looks like now, and then, the side, all the abandoned cars and everything on this side there. So, just basically want to know what actions are currently being taken to enforce the guidelines.
Okay, Mr. Code Enforcer, can you speak to that?
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor and Commissioners, once again, good evening. We have sent Mr. Harris several letters in the past informing him to please clean the property up to town standards, which he has failed to do. And due to the town not having a budget line item big enough for it to go do an abatement cleanup, this is why we have not abated it. But our biggest concern at first was to get the shipping container up to par, whether getting the special use permit or removing it, which he did. Now we're going to continue to send out letters to him asking him to please clean the property up to town standards.
Mm-hmm. And the attorney is drafting that this month for us anyway. So we'll have some language that would go along with the special use permit if that's really what you wanted.
For the Wilder Road property.
That's specifically for that other lot.
Yeah, I know if they wanted to apply.
Okay.
If she wanted to ask Mr. Harris if he wanted to apply for us up and go through that same process, right? Then it would be,
Is he aware of a,
yeah.
I think-
And so then that would give this board the opportunity to speak on it as well. If there's wanting to be a long-term policy change, if there's going to be conditions long-term, if it's not grandfathered in, all new ones, maybe there is a fence around it or a certain paint color or shrubbery or bushes or something. You guys can talk about all of that and kind of decide what you want to be policy going forward, so it would be streamlined for manager and the code enforcer to just go through it. Special use permits really are not something we should lean and depend on. We should fine tune our ordinances and get them right where we want them so it can be administrative. Thank you so
Okay.
much for your time.
all right, thank you.
Okay. Next, we have Ms. Kimberly Ware of North Lewisburg Road to discuss flooding on her property. Ms. Kimberly, if you will, please step into the microphone and state your name and address.
Yes. Kimberly Ware, 616 North 581. Anyway, my concern was I had came to the town of Spring Hope before and talked to someone. Actually, they called Mr. James White and talked to him. He ended up texting me because me and him got messages going back and forth where I had water coming down from the new subdivision in my backyard under my house. And every time he was like, well, I'm going to get somebody to come out, I'm going to fix it. So I'm to the point now I need to know what I need to do.
Is it directly behind the first house, the big hill?
Yes.
Or it's the first house that it's behind?
And see, I got pictures when they hadn't even put the houses there, and we had problems where the land was flat, and then he built a hill, but that red dirt ended up cracking. I got pictures where it was coming down the hill through the cracks, coming up under my fence, coming in my backyard.
It would have to be some kind of a drainage put in to separate it.
He said
Nothing-
it's a drainage in the front. I said, well, I ain't concerned with the front. My house is behind.
The water's going under the house.
Yep. I gave Danny pictures, some of the pictures I have. And
Any objection
they came
to
out.
asking Mr. White what a solution would be to stop that? Any objection? He's a developer, so he's very familiar with land and water and how to move it and what needs to happen. Commissioners, would y'all have any objection? And would you have any objection to Mr. White speaking on what may be the best solution?
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay, Mr.
I
White,
just
would you
wanna
be
know
willing
what
to?
they gonna do about it, because inside of my house now the floors are squeaking from the moisture up under the house.
Wow.
So, I mean,
616 North, where you came out before,
Like last year sometime?
last year and the year before, when they first started.
Yeah, I
when they
know
started
that
the
the
building.
guys supposedly cut a ditch in on the hill. I haven't been over there in a year, so,
Yeah, they did.
I mean.
And
could've-
then you
got-
told me you were gonna get back with me, but last time we talked, you said, why I didn't get back with you? I didn't get back with you because it slacked up some, and I thought it would fix, but it
I
won't.
mean, I thought it was fixed too, cause I
Wow.
paid the guys, but, I mean, you could've texted me or called me too, cause I've always answered and returned your calls.
Well, yeah, you did, but you didn't ever get back with me to let me know someone had came out. So that's why I kept going back and forth with you, like, what's
Well,
going
I haven't
on?
heard from you in a year probably. I mean,
Right, because I thought you had fixed it until it started raining more, and it was
Go right
no,
in.
coming
I mean,
down.
send me a text tonight and then I'll follow up with him tomorrow, and then we'll figure out, I'll talk to him before, cause obviously I didn't go out there and do the work, I paid him to go out there and do it, so.
And just like before, you know, when you did fix it, when it was coming in front of my house, and I told you it was coming, stopping right in front of my house, you did
That
fix
was
it
when they
then.
were putting in the ditches.
Right.
Yeah, so, but
And-
no, and I don't remember, we can talk about it tomorrow instead of taking up everybody's time, and then if you still have a problem next month, we can come back.
Could you follow up with the town, Mr. White? Let us know what the resolution is. Okay.
can I ask the attorney something? Do we have a hydroplaning report?
Yeah, what?
A hydroplaning report from that subdivision, from that hill? Was that done?
I have no idea.
You don't have no idea? I'm talking
I
about
have no
prior to building it.
I
Because she
have no-
just indicated that they built the hill
I mean,
and
You're
the water
asking
is
me-
running, but a hydroplaning report from the
I have no
engineer.
idea.
Oh, so you never reviewed it?
No, I'm the town attorney. I'm
So
not
I
sure what
thought
you're asking.
I'm just asking, did you go over those documents?
No.
Oh, okay. I mean, did the manager go over those documents?
That subdivision was approved before I got here.
I understand it was approved. That
And
doesn't.
any of those approvals would have been done before I got here, Mr.
But
Tony.
by you being the manager, you have oversight.
I can't go back in time, sir. I can't go before I landed here in Spring Hope. I can't. If I could, I wouldn't be
That-
sitting in this chair, Mr. Tony.
That subdivision was built while you was here. What subdivision is that, man?
Bryson's Ridge.
Those approvals were all done before I landed here, Mr. Tony.
I asked for
It was
a report.
all done before I got here.
Okay, so I think the confusion is over documents that have or have not been read or presented
Well, I think
in the
we're in
past.
public forum at the moment.
Yes.
So I think the issue is hearing from the members of the public. The board doesn't need to comment. We just need to hear from the members of the public.
Yeah. Okay, we're in your hearing. The floor is yours. Would you like to say anything else or add anything else? Okay. No, it was hers.
Miss Cam's hearing. We gotta close.
Right, we have to close her before we.
Well, we're not in public hearing. This is just public forum. According to the, excuse me, according to the town's procedures, people can sign up to speak. And just so everybody, it's the opportunity for people to speak. It is not an opportunity to ask and get answers. You can ask questions if you want to use your time to ask questions, but nobody should expect to get any answers in this moment. The town will respond as needed. As we've already heard, I think like in the first matter, the code enforcement officer will answer that. In the second matter, Mr. White's going to work on it and get back with the town manager. And then, but this isn't a hearing, this is a public forum.
And it
But
has
just
worked out.
so people, you can ask questions, but you should not expect answers tonight at this moment.
Thank you, Attorney, for explaining those things. We really appreciate that. Thank you. So we saw that they worked themselves out. There's solution in the works. And thank you all for being here, Mr. Code Enforcer, and being available. Thank you. So they figured half of it out while they were here speaking. Next in the public forum is Mr. Jimmy Harris of Hopkins Avenue to discuss his zoning violation, fines, and town issues. Mr. Jimmy Harris, the floor is yours. If you'll please step to the mic and state your name and address.
Jimmy Harris, 206 Spring Hope, North Carolina. 3 years ago, I applied for a permit, and March 29th, 2021. And I got approved for several things. So I'd like to ask Sean Lucas, since he wrote the initial complaint on my storage building, what size was my storage unit? All right, thank you. Danny, or Andrew,
Look, just,
what
look,
size
you
was my
can,
storage
you can
unit?
address your
Mark,
questions,
please.
but just recite your questions, but we're not going to answer questions tonight.
Because y'all
Right.
never do.
That's
That's the problem with this town right here.
That's not the way it works.
You always ask, we get asked the questions a million times, and nothing ever gets answered. You're not accountable, especially you. You've been over here for 20 years. And y'all haven't been accountable for anything. But y'all ready to dictate. Like Tony said, Andrew said to me, this is a town commission runs the city. Everything's run by the town commissioners. And the last 15, 20 years, y'all haven't been doing crap in this town, but telling people what to do with their property. Like I was saying, I got a building permit drew up by the past town commissioner, town manager, JK, and he authorized me to have a building permit using my storage container.
Are you aware of this?
And I was told that, Michelle said that I didn't pay for one, a building permit at all. I just paid for a fencing one. That's the document right there that it was approved. Excuse me?
I ain't see it. What year was it?
2021.
Okay.
But yet I was fined for something that I was approved for that was gonna get converted into the carport storage container. So, because I couldn't find those paperwork at the time, I had to sell the property, sell the buildings off. And now I'm being fined, never got a first certified letter to have a formal meeting in front of the town commission or town meeting in those fines, for those fines. I just got letters. Had an informal meeting with Mr. Andrew in December 16th. Did you show him that permit? Was that a formal meeting or informal meeting?
That was a formal hearing.
Was that recorded?
Yes, sir.
It was recorded. The meeting was recorded.
That was 6:05.
You took notes on it, but it wasn't recorded.
That's how hearings are done, sir.
It wasn't here because y'all not, no, I'm back and forth with y'all.
No.
It's always something with this, Can I see that? everything. Was it permit? Do we have a permit? That's from 2021.
It is.
So why was he fined if he already had a permit? Because I supposedly didn't have a permit. Did you show that? Did you show that to the manager? I did not because I didn't have it access at the time. I figured they would have it on their records. Did Michelle look at it? Did you look at it, Michelle? No? I didn't hear. No, she hasn't seen it. I'm just saying, JK, I don't know if Michelle has seen it, but that was like I said from the time.
The receipt is from 2021 when he paid the $50 fine. It was March 31st, 2021.
That's not the fine. That's the for this permit.
Okay. So that was something done by Jake.
I'm just here today to get this.
This is your-
Because that's my building. I want y'all.
We're not going to resolve anything, so just go ahead and make your presentation. But I will say, when there's a formal hearing, after the hearing, you have a certain number of days to appeal. You have a certain number of days to appeal the hearing.
So in your formal hearing, am I supposed to get a certified letter stating it's going to be a
I would have to
formal
look at the
hearing?
ordinance.
What does the state statute say?
Well,
Since
I
you're
mean,
the attorney.
you're aware you've received the mail saying you're fined, correct? And you have a certain number of days to appeal that decision.
No, it just said make the correction.
And this right now is, once again, public forum. You're free to say whatever
So
you
why
want.
are we
You're
having
free
a
to
debate
ask.
right now?
You're free to ask whatever questions
Why
you
are we
want.
having a debate right
But we're
now?
not going back and forth.
Why are we having a debate right now?
I'm just saying you have a certain number of days to appeal.
I lost $4,000 on the storage container I paid for it. That was supposed to have been my garage port.
It says
Because-
garage or accessory building. So
Correct.
are you building a garage? What are you?
That's going to be a garage port storage container. So said it was the storage container for the storage part, and then
And this is where, I mean,
the carport. The measurement and the design was in there.
On
with
that
the,
permit?
On the
Okay.
permit, I drew up
Okay.
24 by 20.
I have to
It said it
advise,
was-
I
it
have
said
to
it was
advise the
approved,
board.
though, but why didn't you, when you talked to the
didn't have
manager,
the
why you
document at the
didn't
time.
give it to him? Andrew said that I had to talk to the commission, and it was part of the state statute that we couldn't have a storage container, and I told him it was being modified because it was a retired storage container. He said, no, that's not the case. It's still classified as a storage container, and he said he wasn't gonna go back and forth with me.
And ultimately, what is it that you're
I
asking
want
from the
this
board?
fine that y'all got on me for 79,000 or 7,900, what was the total on that? 7,900 to go away.
We gotta go back.
We got, this is, now, this is just public forum.
we gotta
And
go
so
back.
that would be in the actual meeting. So this is just public forum now. So no, you don't have to
I
make
just
any
wanna make sure
decisions
it's
or
addressed
motions.
that everyone hears me so they can hear my complaint. That way, it's not swept under the rug like everything else.
So you're saying that you asked Michelle for a copy of this and we don't have records of this?
Correct.
That's what you're saying?
Correct.
Oh, so,
Don't get permits.
I'm just saying,
Nothing to do with planning and zoning.
but we should have a record of it. We
Finance
took,
and town clerk, that's it.
so who would have a copy of this that we can?
Whoever was working up at front at the time, which was probably Ashley Edwards.
So it looks like this didn't align with code enforcement when it started. I guess there were some things from, this was Jay Kim, this was the old town manager before Andrew got here. And he approved this stuff. He did approve it.
Yeah, just like the
But then I
container we
guess-
just approved a while ago, you was already grandfathered in. Did he leave?
Whenever we started, I guess some of this stuff was not transferred over or even known about, maybe, not presented, not even known about from 2021. So literally, this could not have been possibly not transferred to Andrew and to you. Is that right, Andrew? You could have never seen, did you ever see this?
Have you seen this? Oh, we just got a technical error though.
After the hearing, Mr. Harris, we told him to come before the Board of Adjustments and submit a permit for a special use application.
Yeah, $450.
If he would've did the special use application, we would not have accepted no.
You wanted me to spend $450 for a container I already owned 3 years prior to y'all coming and writing me up a fine for it.
But if you would've went and did the special use application as the person before us at the first meeting did, we wouldn't be having this discussion because it wasn't for the Board of Adjustments. They would've made the decision either approve it or deny it. But being you never done it, we. kept
You're
checking
absolutely
in
right.
on it.
I'm sorry, I don't have money to throw away. I was already, like I told Drew, I was already screwed over by 2 contractors for my home, and that's why my home isn't finished right now.
And that's a conversation you can have with the commissioners, and it could be put as a agenda item for special use permit in the Board of Adjustments meeting. That just happened with the gentleman earlier. And so that really is like the way to do it. If
How do you
you,
get on the Board of Adjustment meeting?
you just
talk to?
schedule it with Michelle.
Okay,
Yep, that is the vessel to get to that point.
not a problem.
May I ask a question for clarification?
Yes, please.
I would recommend you not, but go ahead.
Yes, it is. If I can give it to Michelle, I'll make a copy of it. I'll come back and pick it up. Or whoever, Ms.
We
Lucas.
can do it right now.
That's fine.
We heard from you and we heard from your neighbor. I just want to clarify.
My neighbor?
One of your neighbors earlier in the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Did you,
She complained about my material on my porch, came by yesterday morning.
I just wanted to ask, from my understanding, and I don't know if I heard from either you or her, did you also build a building and have to tear it down?
Did I build? No, I had
So
to get my
it's just the storage containers, okay.
Correct.
That's all I needed.
Is the storage container moved? Yeah, I had to sell it.
Okay.
And take everything off and put it on my porch.
Thank you.
So how we handle this? He already had a
Well,
permit approved. And then we
This was
finally-
his public forum, so we would discuss that. And that's a policy, so we would discuss it in our meeting if we would want to change it, if we would want to change something. So Board of Adjustments, that's the next thing that he would need to do, is just come before the Board of Adjustments, and then it would
When's
be
the
a
next Board
very
of
open
Adjustment
conversation between the commissioners and.
There's no scheduled Board of Adjustment meetings. It's only when there's items of business that the Board of Adjustment. So you would need to come to town and apply for whatever you need. Whatever you want to apply for, you apply for. And then if that triggers the Board of Adjustment needing to meet, then the Board of Adjustment meets.
It couldn't apply because the
What
building was
am I
already
applying
gone.
for if I'm just discussing?
This is where we're
matter?
not going to go back and forth. You need to talk to the town, not during a town meeting.
Call me.
That is we just did one. We just did one.
But again, no one's saying what to ask for.
Right, and we're not going to say right here in this
I'm
meeting.
not applying for anything.
Oh, we thought, maybe we misunderstood you. We
I
thought you
already
were
have
applying for a
building
storage
permit that
container
I gotta
or a
find
building.
another solution for it. My question is to get this fine resolved, because I'm not paying it. What step do I go to get this
Board of
fine?
Adjustments.
And he said I have to apply for something to get in front of the Board of Adjustments. No
Yeah.
one's saying what it is.
It's just a form, like the application.
To
It's just
say
like
what?
Oh, if you want it for your property, if you wanted to add a property, or if you wanted to add, if you wanted to add a storage container, I don't know what it is that you're.
You say what you just said.
I want the form, to
You
know
want this-
what the
right,
form
what you
is
just said.
that I need to fill out,
Commissioner
to
Lucas.
state what you want
Say what you
me
want.
to
Right.
say to
There you
get
go.
to
Thank you,
in front of the Board
That's
of
not hard.
Adjustments.
Say what you just said, okay?
I mean, I said it 3 times.
Well, we want you to say it on that paper when you come to file for that, application for Board of Adjustment, okay? Fill
So
out that
just say,
form.
I want to, and what's the cost on that?
I don't know. What's the
Yeah,
cost?
Could we get the action going on that? She already gave him the application.
No, I gave him his paper back.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. All right, thank y'all.
Do you understand me? Hey, you
Yes,
understand
ma'am.
what I said?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Is the application on the website?
What is he getting the application for?
To fill out, to have a
Board of Adjustments meeting.
It's a special use application.
Well, he wouldn't need that because the building is gone. So
He's
what?
coming for the Board of Adjustments to get his money, to have that money dissolved.
Okay,
what
so
he's
that's
coming
on the
for.
application.
That's what he's
Is
doing
that
on the application.
I don't know, this is part of the conversation we have to have with Mark, what actually look like. So that's why Mark is telling you, we can't give Mr.
Yes.
Harris a definitive answer tonight on what his remedy is, but we'll work something out with him.
Did Andrew tell you to call him tomorrow?
Yes.
Please do.
All right.
You do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
And lay low.
I'm trying to.
Don't go in with the attitude.
I'm trying
Talk to
to.
Andrew tomorrow, okay?
Would you like to be there with us?
No, I have to work.
I do too. I do too.
Okay? Then I think
Mr.
we can get
Harris,
something
thank you.
resolved.
All right, y'all.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Thank you. Thank you,
You too.
Mr. Harris. Next up is Mr. Aaron Guyton of South Walnut Street to discuss zoning violation fines for 322 East Nash Street.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and ladies and gentlemen of the Board of Commissioners. Aaron Guyton. I'm a resident here in town, reside at 109 South Walnut Street. However, I am here for a business matter, an investment of mine that relates to getting old, I can't read anything, 322 East Nash Street. Received a notice from the town on 10/7. Purchased the property on 8/19 of 25. According to the notice, there is fines of $3,600. These fines were occurred by not me and my business partners, but by the previous owner, who, when we purchased the property, did not disclose that there was fines on the property. Obviously, I have purchased and sold properties in this town, rehabilitated them, actually sent some exhibits. Andrew, I don't know if those are able to be pulled up. And listen, I understand code enforcement and I understand the nature of it. The idea of code enforcement is to get everybody to comply with the UDO and to get properties up to a certain standard where they can be of highest and best use. I have two exhibits of two properties that I have flipped in this town. My goal, I'm a preservationist. You guys can pass that around. I love historic properties. I love old houses. I like to take them back and make them of highest and best use. This is a property that I flipped, and I just asked that they scroll through the photos real quick to show you the level of quality that me and my partners and investors take these properties that are completely dilapidated and of no longer of good use. Actually, Dickie, this is one next to you, buddy. You know, this property was gonna, you know, almost in tear down status. Completely rehabbed it. The purchase price on this was originally $90,000. So trying to do the right thing and increase the property value of the homes in Spring Hope. Also did another one of these on 311 North Railroad Street. Same type of thing, grabbing the level of properties that are near tore down or at the bottom end of a rental space and taking them and making them a highest and best use. And I don't cheap out. I know these photos are not, I don't know what's up with the technology, but anyway.
I will share those with you.
Yeah, and that's fine. I know I'm not gonna get, according to Mr. Edwards, I'm not gonna get a decision tonight.
Correct.
I was listening to you, Mr. Edwards. But my thing is this. These fines were not my fines. If they were my fines, I would have addressed them. They were the previous property owner's fines, and that previous property owner did not notify us of it when we purchased the property. We are working very diligently. Demo is going on. We expect structural permits to be ascertained. See where we at on the construction timeline. I would expect them to, all the permits to be ascertained by the middle of February. And this property should go on to the market sometime in early April. So when you look, and I can provide a copy of this, but the code finds are dilapidated structure and repair structure. Totally agree. Vegetation's already been addressed. Lack of certificate of occupancy or building permits being worked towards. Again, none of these fines are mine, nor my business partners. I'm asking the town board for relief, and please know from the other examples that I've done in town, we are going to do this to the highest and best use and take a property that has not been utilized and make it utilized for full use so a good family can come to Spring Hope. That's my goal. I don't even know if it's called a motion, Mr. Edwards, but my request, and I know I'm not getting an answer, is that the town would waive these, Mr. Edwards, if they want to put conditions of certain benchmarks need to be made to accommodate that. I am reasonable to comply, but again, these are not my fines. Any questions from the board? He advised you not to ask them, by the way. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate your time.
But I would say that the town, somebody from the town will get back in touch with you.
Okay,
So that's,
sure.
so it is not that we're not listening to the questions and won't answer the questions, but before you leave, I mean, are you going to call him back or is Sean going to call him back?
For Aaron?
Yeah.
I can call him, but I mean, I think his request, his specific request is to get those fines abated, so I think you need to be.
Okay, so I think the town manager will give me your contact information, and either Nick or I will be back in touch with you.
Yeah, I'll save him a step.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah,
It's my cell phone number, email address.
thank you. Yep.
I tried to be short. I'm the shortest one so far, guys.
Congratulations.
Y'all bless
Thank you so much, Mr. Guyton. Thank you.
Take care.
All right, next to speak is Mr. Melvin Williams to discuss cleanup on property on Gum Avenue. And you, floor is yours, if you'll please state your name and address.
Really, I don't know why I'm here. Really, I don't, because, I talked to Sean, and at the beginning, I talked to the mayor, you remember you came by my house? 222 Gum Avenue, Spring Hill, and you said you gonna look at the building, and then what's his name?
Andrew.
Andrew, I talked to him, both of y'all at the same time. We had a meeting, and he said he was gonna come by and look at it. And then, he told me to put the door up. I put the door up, and then I didn't hear nothing else. But then I got a letter saying I owe $4,000. I done did what y'all told me to do. So what you? Nobody never got in contact with me, but y'all gonna send me a letter for $4,000. Then he told me to close the door up, get all the stuff off the building. I did. I done did that. So I done did what everybody told me to do. So
Thank you.
I just don't know why I'm here. It's in my backyard. You got a cement floor in it. I keep my tools in it. My dog lives in there. I got lawnmowers and refrigerators and stoves, washing machine. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the roof caved in, but I'll clean everything off the roof already. I closed all the doors up and everything.
It's all compliant?
I wrote about this weekend, he did get the roof cleared all out.
Yeah.
Okay. So it sounds like, yeah, it sounds like people are coming into compliance, and now that the fees have become a pattern here in recent time, now people are seeking, relief from that. And so I see that pattern happening, and I feel that there'll be a pattern of special use permits or discussions with the town attorney is where they'll end up landing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be a general discussion about this topic later in the meeting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not about particular properties, but in general.
Right, in general, yes. So please stay, and if you want to, and we're going to discuss, the attorney's going to discuss some of the specifics of that later in our meeting.
You want me to stay?
If you'd like to, because we'll be discussing things relevant to your situation.
Okay.
Or you could just call the manager tomorrow and get an update if you didn't want to stay.
No, I'll stay for a little while.
Okay. Okay, moving on. Now, going to the approval of the minutes. Have all the commissioners had an opportunity to read the minutes from last month's meeting?
Yes.
We don't have them.
Oh, here.
Oh, no, it must have got kicked out.
Do you have a printed copy, Michelle?
Yeah, this copy.
That's printed copy? Thank you, Michelle.
No, Ms. Lucas.
Oh,
You
we can borrow it.
From Ms. Lucas.
Okay, thank you. All right.
Thank you. I make a motion that we approve the minutes as written.
Do we have it all in favor?
Aye.
Are we aye or nay down here?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Motion approved, and the minutes will go on record as written. Continued items, extending the ETJ previously tabled. Mr. Manager, can you bring everyone up to speed on that?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So basically, at last month's meeting, we had held a public hearing. The matter was tabled. So we need to carry it as a continued item unless this board decides that that's something they don't want to carry as a continued item, or give staff further direction on how to proceed. So that's why it's on the agenda.
What is recommendation?
Well, if it's something that the board wants to tackle, then we would continue in whatever direction the board wants to take it. If it's something that the board doesn't want to deal with at this time, then, I guess I don't know how you'd structure that motion. You don't typically structure a motion to disapprove something, so.
Table it indefinitely.
Have we
It would
done
come off the
any,
agenda.
not that we have to, but have we done any proactive reaching out to any of the other landowners to see, we had some that come and speak. Have we reached out to others or heard from others?
Prior to last month's meeting, I spoke with quite a few people. Most of the people that I spoke with were favorable. A few said they didn't really see where it benefited them, but, we did send out notices per the statute, and, people reached out accordingly.
Can I ask you to explain the benefit to the town of Spring Hope
Well,
with the ETJ?
This is it's a planning decision, and so as the town grows, and it will continue to grow at whatever speed, depending on development, people will sell their land, and there are still some large tracts, both in the corporate limits and just outside the corporate limits, that can be developed. So planning for what that development looks like, not just residential, but commercial as well, will be important to the town, planning for the utilities and so on. Mr. White's a good example of that. You know, he took two large parcels, well, a multitude of parcels, put them together, and that you have two subdivisions for lots of families. You know, 257 families that have moved to Spring, or in the process of moving to Springhope. So that's the benefit. And I understand people's, you know, anything that change is always difficult. Fundamentally, for most people, I don't think it will affect them either way. I mean, we're pretty user-friendly in this office where it comes to zoning.
So we had a lot of people speak out against it, and you're saying that we also had some people speak in favor of it. I'll ask because this was a question we got and last month, what are the benefits to the taxpayers? If the ETJ were extended to go over their property, what is the benefit from the town, or what is the benefit?
There isn't any direct benefit in terms of current taxpayers. Those, you know, we don't get any additional tax revenue or anything like that. It's just strictly for planning purposes. There isn't any direct benefit to the town.
And then
it doesn't help us with grants. None of the things that were raised, that doesn't really help us.
And go ahead. What were you going to say?
One of the people said that the state had passed something in Senate that was going to block from ETJ.
Never
Well,
got
I
any,
didn't-
it
I
never
didn't
got
see-
any further.
I never saw that.
Yeah, the state is looking at potentially taking that right away from municipalities. And
We
so,
had a room full of about 40 people in here fussing about that.
And
I think we should
again,
just
right
table
now.
that. You know, I don't think that's gonna be.
now a lot of this was with the old board, and so I'm not sure if the new board feels up to speed on everything that's going on to be able to make a motion and vote on it tonight. It would basically extend the jurisdictional authority that the town has over property into areas where it's not currently at. So it would expand our extraterrestrial jurisdiction. It would expand essentially like a miniature version of our town limits, where if they wanted to change something, they would have to come here in Nash County. So that's the downside of it for the residents, is that it adds an additional step, and they are then privy to any of the code enforcement, you know, any of the town, or excuse me, with zoning, when it comes to zoning and building and subdivisions development, or what they do with the property, they would have to come here as well. So do y'all feel comfortable voting on this, or do you want to maybe have a meeting with the manager and get more information, or the attorney?
Well, I emailed them, and all of y'all got a CC. We haven't got anything in black and white. The people came and talked, so we got to do what the people say. We got to be transparent about it.
My concern about this is, let's say some big industry wants to come just outside of Spring Hope in the ETJ area and buy several acres of land. And if we don't extend the ETJ, then we have no say-so. Is that what you're saying?
If it's outside of, I'm sorry, ma'am, Commissioner Brantley, if it's outside of our jurisdiction, that process is entirely regulated by the county. If it's in our ETJ, then, you know, the town decides in advance what the zoning will look like with the property owner usually, particularly where commercial property is concerned. Excuse me. So, yeah, I mean, it could mean, see, the most important thing for the town of Spring Hope is planning its utilities for the future. Particularly utilities. We're blessed to have our own utilities here. And so then any expansion of those utilities, and there probably should be expansion in the future, you know, you'd want to plan that out. And, you know, the ETJ gives you the opportunity to do that, so. But.
I'd like to make a potential recommendation for the board to consider, given the new commissioners opportunity to learn more about it. And then I think that we should actually hear more from the property owners. So would that be something that we could do administratively? Just reach out to some of the property owners and see? I put a comment up, you know, for people to respond to, and put a message out there. And I've had over 25 comments and 25 people reach out in wanting to keep the ETJ closed in as it is right now. And so I haven't gotten anybody favorable of it. And so I feel like since it's such a big decision and it impacts so many people, I feel like we should talk to more of the major stakeholders before we just take it over.
Beyond the method of outreach, beyond noticing as we've done, I just don't know how to reach out to folks otherwise.
So we could invite a public hearing if we wanted to with the residents that live out there, and they could sign up and they could speak. I mean, that would be a possible way for the board to hear directly from them like we did tonight.
I think that's a matter for the town attorney to weigh in on, because you closed the last public hearing, so I don't know what.
Well, not tonight. I'm
No,
just
no, I
talking
mean
about,
in the future.
yeah, in the future. If they wanted to sign up and speak to us next month, table it this month, give the manager and the new commissioners opportunity to review what's actually happening. And then that same month, this coming month, we give an opportunity for people that are against the ETJ to actually sign up and speak at public forum. Because we're closed now, so we can't do it tonight. So we can get a motion to table this and request that residents in that area sign up to speak in favor or against, and give the commissioners time with the town manager to learn more. So
what are you saying? We're going through the same thing we went through the last meeting?
What if we had more like a public information session for the people affected by it?
have you heard anybody in favor of it?
I really don't think they understand what it's all about. I don't think they understand what it's about. I really don't. And when people don't understand what it's about, they're influenced by what other people say.
Okay.
And so therefore they make bad decisions. That's my point. And I think that's what is going on. They don't understand. Because it is a disadvantage of not doing it.
We can just call a town hall meeting, not a. So if that is an option, if the commissioners did want to publicly offer more information about what exactly is happening, then we could call just a simple town hall meeting. We can schedule it and just utilize the space, and it would be an open forum for them to talk. It would be a town hall meeting, not a board of commissioners meeting, not an actual town meeting, just a so-called town hall meeting, if you wanted to do that. Just to make sure.
Let's table it.
Okay.
I make a motion, we table it.
Did you want to add anything to that as far as what we plan to do, or what you'd like the board to do while it's tabled this month?
We gotta get more research on it. This is a new elected board. He said that some people wanted it, but I heard a whole lot of people in here yelling and screaming, saying that he was lying, and it was a lot of chaos in here.
So that's what I'm talking about, negativity.
It was in here, it was in here.
I'm talking. You need to get the facts first before you start talking negative. That was my point. And a lot of people don't understand. That's my thing.
Okay, so we got a motion to table it. Do we have a second? And those things would happen in between, more due diligence, and we could schedule a town hall meeting in a couple of weeks, try to be before. So do we have a second for the motion to table it so we can work on it? We got a motion on the floor to table
Table
it
it till when, next month?
next month.
Okay, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you, commissioners. Moving on to fiscal year '25 financial audit. Mr. Austin Eubanks presenting for Thompson, Price, Scott, and Adams. Are you available? Is he here? Is he going to be remote?
Yes, he's going
Okay.
to be remote in.
See the water board adjustment on the agenda. And I sent that in. It's not on the packet, so we're gonna discuss that in closed session. Because I sent
It
that
would
in.
need to go in public.
Huh?
It would need to go in
So
public.
I should add it to the agenda.
Did you get a?
She got it?
It's on there.
It's on there.
I don't see it up here
It's in, new items.
though. Okay.
Okay. Beautiful.
Sam, can you hear us? Oh, he can hear us. Well, we can't hear you. Are you muted? I have it. Yeah, it's way up there. Sam. Oh, he can hear me through this. Yeah, everything's, he's not muted on our end.
Mayor, while you're waiting, can I ask a question or should I wait?
Wait till then. Thank you.
So he's sending you messages saying he can hear you.
Yes, he can hear. It says my microphone is connected.
See the report that I told you on reference to getting a technician. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
I know. Technology. Computers.
My audio is not.
We're gonna have to skip this. That's like, we're gonna have to skip this. It's not working. We'll come back to it.
Yeah. Sam, can you call in? Is that possible? The call-in number? Yeah. Sam, can you call? Okay. He's gonna call. You sure there's screen on this recently? They moved it from where it used to just be down here.
You know Zoom?
Yeah, this one. It's Wi-Fi. Number should be,
Do we need to do this next month, Andrew?
We'll come back to it.
We have to meet this, there's a deadline for us
well,
to,
yeah, I mean, it's better to, since we got it all set up, if you just give me a moment.
okay.
Mr. Mayor.
I thought it was completely down.
Yeah, there's a number, Sam, on the invite.
She can do it
Your meeting?
We're gonna give him a minute to do that. Yep. Yeah, we're on number 1.
I had our channel up.
That's why I was asking.
Thank you.
Do one of the others and come back to it in a few minutes.
Would you be able to possibly multitask and we could go over item number 2 while,
Yeah.
while you're getting connected?
Or actually, town attorney has an agenda item that he
Okay.
needs to add, so maybe, Tom,
Yes,
if you
Sure.
that would be great.
If you
Keep
look
it
at the
moving.
memorandum that I handed out earlier tonight, it looks like this. I think you probably have it. And this relates to some of the stuff you have heard tonight about the code enforcement fines that Mr. Lucas has been working on. And the question that Commissioner Tony asked at the last board meeting was, and you've heard addressed in some of the comments tonight in the public forum about whether or not the fines that have been imposed can be removed or reduced. And so I would, if you'll turn to page 4 and look under the section that says conclusions and the recommendation, that's probably the place to start, actually. So in thinking about some of these fines and penalties that are out there that people have incurred because they didn't bring their property into compliance as the code enforcement officer had encouraged them to in time, the way you think about these things is actually 2 different types of cost that the town can recoup. And one is abatement costs, and one are the fines and penalties that people have incurred. And the fines and penalties are a lot of what you've heard about tonight from the members in the public forum, of where they weren't in compliance. There was a hearing in front of the code enforcement officer. The code enforcement officer at that hearing found that they had not abated the problem. And so there's a fine for them not bringing their property into compliance, and that's a fine. The other cost is abatement cost, and abatement costs are if the town sends somebody out there to cut grass, if the town sends somebody out there to actually clean up the property, if the town pays the town attorney to take legal action, those are abatement costs. So there's, in talking about this, there's 2, and they're handled 2 different ways. So abatement costs are an immediate lien on the property and can be enforced as a lien on the property. The fines, on the other hand, are a debt that these folks owe to the town, but it's not a lien on the property, it's just a debt. And to enforce that debt, the town would have to sue them and go through the regular court process to have a court order to get the fine ordered from a judge and then collected by them. And when it comes to those fines or penalties, not the abatement costs, but the fines or penalties, any money collected, we think would go to the school system, is the way the Constitution in North Carolina is written.
Go where?
To the school system. So, but the town would, first, the town's expenses would be paid, the attorney fees mainly, the legal costs, and then beyond that, any money recouped would go to the school system.
So if someone paid fines, that goes to the school system, not to the town?
Correct.
What's the point?
And on the other point, the other side of things, if there are abatement costs, the abatement costs would come back to the town. So given that, the financial incentive for the town is to pursue any abatement costs, there's no financial incentive to the town to pursue these fines. So, but.
Thank you for.
But circling back
doing this.
around, but the town cannot forgive the fines. The fines are there, and according to our reading of the Constitution, that once the fine is imposed, it's imposed and you can't forgive the fine. So if anybody wants to come to the podium and ask to please forgive their fine, you're not allowed to do that. But the question is, you don't have to pursue them in court either. Our recommendation, and then if you look at those 10 cases that we have with fines that are on the, after my memo, after page 4, you'll see that there's 10 properties in Spring Hope that have been fined, and we've heard about some of them tonight. And 6 of those properties, the property owner has brought the property into compliance. So there is a fine for the past non-compliance, but there's no more fines being imposed for future non-compliance because they have complied. And I was double check, that's correct, Sean, right? I'm saying it correctly, right?
Yes, sir.
For 6 of them,
Yes, sir.
And for 4 of the properties, the landowner is still not in compliance. So they're racking up fines and they're not complying. So my recommendation is the town take no action to pursue the cases where the 6 landowners have complied. You can't erase the debt, but my recommendation is you don't pursue the debt. But on the 4 properties where fines are continuing to accrue and the landowner is not complying, that then what I would ask is that you take a vote to approve, to authorize myself and the code enforcement officer to meet and decide how to address those 4 properties with you, as to whether or not the town should take legal action to abate the property. And you probably would need to address these one by one, because the town does not have money in the budget to abate all 4 properties. And of course, when I say abate, what that means is going through the legal process of going to court, getting a court order, telling the property owner through a court order to fix their property in the same way that Sean has been telling them over and over and over and over again. You kind of would hope that a court order telling them to do it would work, but you also, these people haven't complied, so everybody in this room is logical, but those people who aren't complying, I don't know that a court order is going to make them. So the town should be prepared to go and fix the problem itself. That is going to cost money, and the town is going, if the town decides to do this, so the town doesn't have the money to do all 4 of those properties. So my recommendation is that you authorize Sean and myself to come back and to recommend which property we recommend that the town board approve pursuing abatement action against that property. And when we bring that back, the town board is free to agree with our recommendation and start the process of trying to abate that problem, or the town board can ignore my recommendation and not start that process. But just to summarize one more time, abatement costs are one thing, fines are another. You can't cancel out, you can't take a vote to cancel anybody's fine. However, you can decide not to pursue the fine. And so that's my summary, and I guess I should have said at the beginning, I appreciate Nick working on a lot of this. This is a lot of his work, and I'm just taking credit by standing at the microphone going on about it. So I appreciate Nick doing that. And if you want more time, of course, feel free to ask questions and we can discuss tonight. If you're not ready to make a final decision on this, we can make a decision on this next month. You don't have to make a decision tonight.
That's what I would like, is a decision
Yes.
next month, because I like
Yes.
to go out and look at this personally and see what each of these properties look like. And I haven't looked at any of these.
I don't want to get too much into the facts, and I don't want to bring it up. And then Sean's going to have his own report later in the meeting tonight, which may kind of address some of these particular properties. But I do note that one of the properties that was talked about at the podium tonight is listed on here as one of those 4 properties that are not in compliance. But the comments from the podium sounded like they were going to be in compliance. If that information is correct, then you're going from 4 to 3. So, yeah.
Have these 4 active property owners had a certified letter where they had to sign for it
Yeah.
and come in
If
for
they're-
a meeting?
Because if you're looking at this list, Sean encourages, cajoles, and harasses people to come into compliance. And only when they don't do that, then does he start the hearing process. And once he starts the hearing process, there's a process, and then they get the fine after they've had a formal hearing with Sean, and they've had an opportunity to appeal his decision to this board.
So you have the certified letters that they signed for, you have those receipts?
He has a file.
You have the certified letter receipts?
Yes.
Okay, you can print them for all of these properties.
I can go through my files I got, and I can get everything out.
When
Okay.
I don't attend every hearing. I
And
haven't.
then also the efforts made, if they're still accruing fines, what communications, phone calls, text, emails, what communications have those people had with you? Are you going to review that?
We just sent out the weekly, monthly invoice. The only one that we have not been able to get in contact with is the new owner, 322. They came here tonight.
That's who came here tonight.
That's the only one we didn't know that was a new owner until we found out it's just been sold.
What's that?
He just found out it was 15 years old.
No, it's just been sold. There's new, we knew this demolition was going on, that the property had been changed hands to the, new LLC, but we didn't know the new owner. We were just sending those letters.
Oh, so now you have,
Right, information.
and that's what, I guess that's exactly what he was addressing.
Right.
And then, yeah, we'll hear about some of this in the code enforcement report. I like that idea, Commissioner Brantley, go look at them.
If you don't want to make a decision, there's no need to make a motion. We just won't take any action tonight.
Yep. We just won't tackle it. He
But-
reviewed it.
I don't know if everybody's had a chance yet. But, and I guess I will address the comments about buying a piece of property. Well, no matter how sympathetic this board may be, it can't get rid of a fine. So that's one thing to take away from my report tonight. But I'd also would say, as a real estate attorney that does closings, it's the buyer's responsibility to check to see if there are any taxes or costs associated with the property. And even if a seller misrepresents or fails to tell the buyer, it's the buyer's responsibility, usually through the buyer's attorney, to check. And because you can't cancel the fine anyway, but you couldn't have a scenario where people would come along, buy property, and then come to the town and say, well, this is the previous owner's problem. If you're buying a piece of property, you're buying it with those taxes on it, so that's, anyway.
Now, what about, just because we heard from them, what is the actual ordinance or statute or policy about when a property changes hands? I know that you said that is the buyer's responsibility or their attorney's responsibility to figure that out. But is there anything in particular that says, hey, when it changes hands, the fines quit accruing, or when it changes hands, so I know you said don't pursue it. But in that gentleman's case, he said that he's going to sell the property. So
Well, the fines will continue, and I'm not talking about that particular property. I mean, but the answer is the fines will continue to accrue until somebody fixes the problem. So if the buyer buys it when it's not in compliance with the code, if they fix it in one day, then after one day, the fines stop. If it takes them 6 months to fix the problem after they've bought the property, the fines will continue for 6 months until they fix the property.
And the people on this board and the town attorney and the town manager don't think that these fees are a little egregious? I mean, we know the demographics of the town of Spring Hope, and it's...
Senior citizen.
Well, I mean, I think what's happened is, on these 10 properties, what's happened has happened. I mean, if you want to address it going forward, I mean, it's in the ordinance that if you don't come into compliance and you're out of compliance, you will be fined, and you're fined $100 a day. So that's in the ordinance. That's what Sean with my backing enforces, and so that's a policy question going forward about what you want to have in your ordinances. But I will, it's really your decision. I will just remind you that Sean does, if they are on this list, they have been running away for Sean for a very long time before they even get on the radar. I mean, before they even have a hearing. So it's not as though you have one thing wrong with your property and the next day you have a fine. These people have not come into compliance for many, many, many months, maybe years. But going forward, if you think these fines are too much, that's something this board can address.
What are the fines in Nashville? Much bigger population, much different demographics.
Right, 'cause we, Nashville average range is from $100 to $500. Discretion of the zone administrator, myself. I have my discretion of the violation.
Are you saying per day?
Yes, sir. Per day, per violation. We have, some people with violations that are way heavier than this as far as what they owe the town.
And so we'll get to see all of those certified letters. We'll get to see any email communications that you've had with them, and we'll get to be able to actually visualize a pattern of them running from you, and that's why they're on
You
that
don't want to
list.
take action yet.
So there will be a pattern that you're going to display of them running from you.
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, you can
Okay.
look at, but you can look, just
Are you ready?
to reiterate, you can look at all those files, but you can't get rid of the fine.
There's also Tom White is here in case the board wanted to discuss with him, but I'd like to get the audit out of the way.
Let's get that. Is he going to be here?
Prepared?
Mr. White? Hmm.
He's in the bathroom.
Okay.
He's ready.
Let's get that done. Let's get the audit done.
Sam, are you there? Can you hear me? Yes, sir, I can hear you. Here, I'm gonna put you next to the mic so the board can hear you.
Okay. Let me know when you're ready.
We're ready to go. Go ahead.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Sam Potts with Thompson Price Scott Adams, and I'll be presenting the Town of Spring Hope's audit for the year ended June 30th, 2025. To start off, we need to go over some required communications, starting with responsibilities under generally accepted auditing standards, government auditing standards, OMB uniform guidance, and the State Single Audit Implementation Act. We designed the audit to provide reasonable assurance that the financial statements are free of material error and in compliance with government regulations. We performed all planned procedures and had complete access to both management and required information, and there were no significant deficiencies in the internal control this year. There was one change in accounting policies this year. It was GASB 101, which is addresses sick leave. This year, GASB wanted all government audits to have a liability that represents sick leave. So it's similar to the vacation liability, but now there's a separate one for sick leave. Methods used and evidence considered appear to have led to reasonable amounts being included in the financial statements. The financial statement disclosures are neutral, consistent, and clear, and there were no significant audit adjustments or unrecorded differences. There were no disagreements with management. Management was provided a management representation letter. We did not consult with any other outside accountants, and there were no prior retention issues. There were no major difficulties encountered while performing the audit, nor were there any irregularities or illegal acts or any other findings or issues. Getting into the number side of the presentation, the town's general fund had total revenues of $2,058,705, whereas total expenditures was $1,709,739. This resulted in a positive net change in fund balance of $348,966. And the local government commission requires the unassigned fund balance to be at least 34% of general fund expenditures. So the smallest the unassigned fund balance could be for the town is $581,311. However, the actual unassigned fund balance for the town was $1,099,966. $923,454. So that brought the fund balance available as a percentage of general fund expenditures to 128.5%, which is well above the 34% that's required. Tax collection rate this year was 98.01%, which is really good. And then looking at the general fund's operating summary, the numbers are much improved this year compared to prior years. For comparison, this year's change in fund balance was again roughly $350,000, and last year's change in fund balance was $116,000. The past 4 years have shown a positive net change in fund balance, which is great. It's heading in the right direction, and this year had its largest change in fund balance. The top 4 revenues for the general fund, 50% of the general fund revenues is ad valorem taxes, property taxes, at just over $1 million. The second largest revenue is the unrestricted intergovernmental revenues, which is your local option sales tax and utility franchise tax and other taxes. The third largest revenue was sales and services, which was mainly your garbage collection fees. And then the other 10% of miscellaneous and other revenues, it's going to be restricted revenues, interest revenue, permit fees, POW bill revenue, things of that nature. The top expenditures for the general fund, the largest one being coming from the Public Safety Department, that was mainly salaries and benefits at $787,786. The second largest general fund expenditure was general government, admin and governing body. That was again mainly salaries and benefits. And then the third largest expenditure was environmental protection at $134,725. That was the cost for trash pickup. And then transportation was 7% of the total expenditures. And then the other expenditures, that's things such as debt payments, and then also expenditures within things like economic development department and library expenses and things like that. Looking at the general fund's analysis of fund balance, the total fund balance increased this year to $2,497,092. Of that amount, $1,923,454 is unrestricted, so that it can be used at the board's discretion. And then the restricted portion of that at $573,638, that amount is restricted. It was restricted for money set aside for certain departments that the town has, unspent POW bill money, and then state stabilization as well. And then, again, back to fund balance as a percentage of general fund expenditures. It was a slight decrease, about 4% compared to last year. But again, it's well above the 34% that's required by the LGC.
What is required?
Depot Project Fund. It didn't have any revenues this year, but it did have expenditures of $8,018. That brought the fund balance from $3,855 down to a negative $4,163. So it is a negative fund balance, but right now there's not a lot of money going through that fund, so it's very, very marginal. The new fund for the town of Spring Hope was the Depot Platform Project Fund. That had a total revenues of $57,440 and total expenditures of $34,386. So that brought the fund balance from zero up to $23,054 this year. And then looking at the Spring Hope's Water and Sewer Fund, operating revenues this year was $1,169,834, and then operating expenditures was $1,042,877. And of those operating expenditures, depreciation is included in that. This year's depreciation was $157,550, which is a non-cash expense. This led to an operating income of $126,957. There was also an additional $149,000 of non-operating revenues. So the total change in net position this year was $276,426. You'll see that there was a net position restatement that brought the beginning net position down by $43,920. That was the amount to establish the sick leave liability that GASB 101 required us to do this year. So that's what that was, just to establish the liability. And then that brought your total ending net position to $3,985,373. So quite a bit of an increase from last year. Town of Spring Hope's cash. The restricted portion of the general fund cash, that's $451,813. Again, that's money that's going to be set aside for certain departments within the town, as well as future debt payments and unspent PAL bill money, which is the money received for paving streets and things of that nature. And then general fund's unrestricted cash was $1,952,595. Depot Project Fund didn't have any cash. Depot Platform Project Fund has $23,000 worth of cash. And then the water and sewer, the restricted portion of cash in the water and sewer fund is $78,407. That's the outstanding customer deposits. And then the water and sewer fund also has an unrestricted cash balance of $967,399. So before I conclude, I'd like to say thank you to Andrew and Michelle and the town's entire staff. I've worked firsthand on this audit for 4 years now, and it's been a very clean audit every year, and every year improves upon the previous year. And I'm pleased to say that this year's audit didn't have a single finding, which is just testament to how hard this town staff works. And I'm confident that this will be the standard for future years of not having any findings, because they keep trending in the right direction. So thank you for the opportunity to work with you. Are there any questions?
Quick question, in just as few words as possible, and thank you so much for your time tonight. Finding 2024-01 and also -02, they both said corrected. That's fantastic. Did you go over in your presentation what those two findings were?
I did not, but I know what they are off the top of my head. The first one was a prior period adjustment for other post-employment benefits. So it turns out the town was giving out what we call OPEB, or other post-employment benefits, and they needed to get a report from a company called Kavanaugh McDonald anyway. So we had to establish that liability. So that ended up being a finding. And then the second finding last year was not enough coverage for the finance officer bond. So the amount of coverage that you need is dependent upon the annually budgeted funds every year. So it's important that every July, when you are adopting a new budget each fiscal year, that it's a minimum of $50,000 to a max of $1 million. And then y'all, I can't remember exactly what y'all are bonded for, but the other threshold is 10% of those annually budgeted funds.
We're bonded for $1 million now, Sam.
Perfect.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I mean by we. So Michelle is bonded for $1 million.
Perfect. Yep. So, and unless general statutes changes, you won't ever have to increase that amount if you don't want to.
That's it. Any other questions from the board? Thank you again so much for your time.
Thank you. Sorry for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, we apologize, Sam. Thank you, and Austin, for your hard work. We appreciate it, and look forward to working with you in the future, too.
Yes, sounds great. Thank you, guys.
Good night.
Okay, moving right along, next item on the agenda, new items, number 2, Downtown Development Board Resolution. Mr. Manager, can you please give us a review of that?
Sure. So Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So there was, previous to my tenure, sometimes actions would be taken that were memorialized maybe in minutes, but not in resolutions or ordinances. But they still have the force of law. Correct me if I'm wrong, Attorney Edwards, but it's just neater to have those things be done by resolution or by ordinance. It also, we are hoping to convey, there have been some issues with attendance, for example, on DDB. I'm not, casting any stones at anyone, but this is just an issue that has come up. But there isn't a mechanism to resolve that issue. So if the board establishes such a mechanism, then it would come back to the board to resolve it. So, and by board, I mean this board.
Is that a copy of the resolution right there?
Here, I'm gonna pass this to Steve.
Did y'all see any problems with it when you reviewed it? Should it be a resolution?
Yeah, this is, because they can, if something comes up later and they want to change it, they can change it.
Of course.
So it's good to have a baseline.
Mr. Attorney?
Yes.
Can I please see that copy?
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Thank you, sir. So this is what we talked about, just codifying, just making it official.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is just legal language. Our Downtown Development Board has been operating, done so many great things. Ms. Brantley came from that board. Mr. Brumfield came from that board. So we see a pattern of people on the Downtown Development Board coming up to the Commissioner State, and they do so much. And this will actually get it into the ordinances properly, where they can function the proper way that they're supposed to. That's all.
I have two comments.
Please, yes, ma'am.
Okay, I have two concerns. One is, we talked about this, I think, at the November Downtown Development Board meeting, and they discussed it again at the last work session in December. And would it be feasible, I know they don't adopt this, I know this is our thing to adopt, but do you think they need to get a look at this first before we do anything official with it? And then my other thing that's not in here, when I joined the Downtown Development Board 5 years ago, it was not written in any bylaws, but they decided on their own to have a member from the Chamber of Commerce Board to serve on the Downtown Development Board, to have that continuity and unity between the two organizations. And I wonder if we need to address that in this also.
If I can add to that, we did discuss this in November, and there was several things that I think, as the group, they were really, really wanting. My question is, did they send this up, or was this created by?
No, this was created from our November meeting.
Okay.
But I know that they're really struggling with the part about attendance.
Yeah.
And the part about limiting term limits.
Right. Did you ask if this needs to go back to them first?
That's
Is that
what I
you were asking?
said, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we need to let them look at this first?
That's why I was asking, so they haven't seen it yet.
Before, no, they haven't seen
Okay.
it. And then my second question was about, do we need to include language in it about the Chamber of Commerce having a seat, being one of those 7 people? That's all I have.
That would make sense. It would make sense to go back to the DDB. I agree with you. I think it should go back to the DDB. Just to take a look at it and.
So do we need to make that in a motion?
When they get back.
If everybody consents, if the other two commissioners consent to just hold this over and let that, if the town manager agrees and y'all agree to take it to the DDB, then you don't need to make a motion.
Okay.
And part of it, since we're kind of waiting for the mayor, the part of it is too, because when you do make the motion to table and it's tabled, you kind of set up certain procedural things, so like the ETJ thing, procedurally, you're putting more restrictions on yourself than you need to.
So we just
I
take.
mean, if it takes until March for the Downtown Development Board to look at it and come back here, we don't need to add this to the February agenda. On the other hand, if you table it, then there's an issue of, does it come back up?
Well, the Downtown Development Board will meet the third Monday of this month.
It might snow.
And so I think it would be ready for the February meeting.
Yeah, you could make a motion to table if you wish. I just think when you make the motion to table, you're kind of being a little bit too formal, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
All right.
I mean, you know.
So we take no action and let them
Review it.
let them review it. Okay.
Okay. That makes perfect sense. So that'll just go down to the Downtown Development Board for their final review this third Monday of this month, and then that'll make them ready for the February meeting. Same page on that?
Everybody agrees with it. He said.
I think there's probably a consensus.
Yeah, that's right. I'm making the comments, and she's making the comments, assuming the other board members are okay with it, yeah.
I mean, are
Are
you okay with
that,
it?
Commissioner Lucas? Oh, sure. Okay. Sounds good. Okay, so take no action on item number 2. Next up, item number 3, paving program price proposals. Mr. Manager, can you please go over that?
So, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Those are 2 price proposals we solicited for professional services to do the engineering, preliminary engineering and design for a paving project this spring. And one came from Wooten Company, the other from Appian, both very capable engineers. Just wanted you all to see that. We also have in Wooten's proposal cost estimates, rough cost estimates for what the project costs, and their cost estimates are based in real world numbers, recent numbers. So get an idea for what that would cost.
Walnut Court, are we paving the area that was messed up by the heavy equipment messing up the asphalt?
It's all of that part of North Walnut Street.
Coming in that section where there's no houses. Why are we paying for that?
Well, it's been subject to being torn up pretty well.
It has. We didn't tear it up. The people living on Walnut Court didn't tear it up. The heavy equipment tore it up.
That whole road needs to be torn up. I don't know that you can single out
So this
just
is the whole
heavy.
road. This is our part too, and that first part.
It's-
So it goes all the way to the cul-de-sac. Is Charrington on there?
Yeah, Charrington's on there.
It
Yeah.
is. Okay, so it's all of Walnut Court. I get that. Okay. So we're just gonna absorb that section. And then what action are you looking tonight that you need to take back to these engineers?
Are you more comfortable with one engineering firm or the other? The price proposals are pretty similar. Would like to engage somebody though in the next, prior to the next meeting so that they can get them
more
under contract.
research, More homework.
Right.
Just like the other, the ETJ.
So that we
items.
can do it in the spring when the asphalt plants are fully open.
Okay, so no sense of urgency to pick an engineer tonight. And will it delay the project by not picking, they're still within reasonable schedule for
Yeah.
springtime if we let them know next month?
Yes.
Okay. That'll give us more time to look at them. So do y'all want to make a motion to?
I don't think you need a motion.
Just take no
Same.
action again?
Since they
Okay.
didn't get their minutes, their agenda tonight, we can wait. I think we should wait. till next
Thank
week.
you. Thank you.
Let them look over it.
Thank you. Okay, so moving on to consideration of extending water bill grace period. That would be Madam Clerk or Mr. Manager like to take that?
I understand, although I did not have conversations with Commissioner Tony about this, that he was interested in extending the grace period. Water bills are due and payable upon receipt. We give people till the 20th of the month. As you just heard in our audit report, our collections have improved vastly from when I first got here 4 years ago, and so have the town's revenues. The issue becomes if you extend the grace period too long, that people get in arrears and cannot get caught up. Their bills get to be too large and unmanageable. So we give people to the 20th, fines are assessed on the 21st, and then disconnections can take place anywhere from the 26th. I think for December it was the 29th. So, we give people, and in the research you'll see that we are very generous relative to all the other communities around us. We're actually very among the more liberal in terms of with the time.
So the timeline, just so I can formally understand it, timeline, again, how many days after the water bill goes out before they?
So we mail them out on the 1st. They're due on the 20th. If for some reason people don't receive them by the end of that first week, they're free to call the office and we will let them know what that amount is. We'd be happy to do that. We have in Cheyenne an excellent person for customer service. We're hoping if we can swing the new financial software in the spring to go to electronic billing, which will also facilitate a smoother process. But right now, and then so the 20th, bills are due by the 20th. As of the 21st, your people would be late. Late fees are assessed. And then disconnections usually take place around the 26th.
And what's our reconnect fee?
$75, which also is pretty universal.
Okay, and then, I see on these, we have, examples for the penalty. Do we add a penalty to that?
Yes.
And it is what?
A late fee? Is it 5%?
And some of these other towns are doing 20%?
Mm-hmm.
You have like which towns? Do you know who is doing that? Like any actual?
It's,
Where is the paper I sent out?
It's in there like which towns?
Yeah.
Here we go.
That's not, let me see that. Did you see the paper that I emailed them?
What did you say?
Did you see the email that I sent you? I'm requesting 5, but the master did 10 days, we only get 5.
What days for you?
Meaning, this is what he's proposing. People are not getting their water bills on time. We only get, if you have a job, you're retired. When you get a bill, you need at least 10, if you don't get paid twice. Yeah, so you get two times people get paid, 2 weeks or 30 days. If you don't have it this Friday,
20 days.
you won't.
Get 20 days.
You don't get 20 days. Because the mail has not been getting the people on time. So you don't get 20 days. He changed it.
Which number are you wanting to, time period? So they have 20 days before the late fee starts. So it goes out on the 1st, let's say they don't get it till the 10th. They have 20 days.
Do we know what the issue is with the mail? I know,
No, this is what I
got it, but
want.
I didn't get mine till the 17th.
We on the 20th.
Is there a mail issue?
Yeah, the mail issue was with the,
Okay. Got clarification on what we're actually looking at now. So looking at the 21st when the late fee starts and giving them 10 days after the late fee starts before disconnect instead of 5. So extending that late fee to the disconnect period from 5 days to 10 days. that is what,
I sent a report to all of y'all. That's in the, Nashville does the same thing. Zeppelin does the same thing. Y'all didn't,
Where's the thing that, Linda worked on? You got the exact dates in Nashville and everybody.
yeah,
Nashville's date, their due date is the 15th, and ours is the 20th.
yeah.
So,
They get their bills on time. We don't. I'm a witness of it. Yeah, I mean, 5 more days. But if you,
on the website there, our website also says, that they have issues with the post office, and if you need to call.
they give 10 days grace period. I talked to them on the phone.
I talked to them on the phone.
Yeah, so.
But if they start
We,
on the
we,
15th,
we was given 20 days before we got this manager.
We give 20 days.
He came and changed, he came and changed it.
and we were also $80,000 in debt in water and sewer, which was which part of that was because we weren't getting paid on time. So if you give them an extra 10 days, that's.
No, it's not no extra 10 days. I said 5.
Can I please finish?
You already given them 5.
carry on.
So if you're gonna give them extra time, if they get, if we're not gonna cut them off on the 26th and you give them the extra 5 days, that puts it on the 31st. That means we can't bill. That means that, their bills, their payments go to the next month. So at the end of the year, that means we're behind. That's why we were behind before. We were, like I said, anywhere from $80,000 to $90,000 in debt. The very first year he came, we had a terrible audit. Because of that and because of the low rates, we were in trouble, and that's why we went on the UAL.
Well, we had numerous of people come in here and complain about the quality of the water. And I mean, well, we can't bring the water bill down, so we want to start the year off right, and we want to do something for the
Okay,
taxpayers.
so that, if you wanna start the year off right, then that.
So
would
we're
be
gonna
in
give them,
July.
I'm gonna make a motion that we give them additional 5 days.
That would be in July, that wouldn't be now, we're still in 25, 26.
Nah.
That would be July.
Okay.
Attorney Edwards, just out of entertaining and being fair and transparent with all commissioners, is that a policy that is fiscally bound to July? Or is that a policy that can be changed now? That's a policy, right? It can be changed now?
Well, their budget, the town manager last spring drafted a budget with the revenue, and the expenses can't exceed the revenue. So you can still change the policy, but you have to factor in if that's going to change a revenue line, then you're going to end up in June being behind. And I'll defer a little bit to Michelle. You would need to adjust the budget in June. You know, and I'm saying this neutrally, I don't know. I'm just an attorney, I don't know. I don't know what impact, but if,
It's based on the revenues that we projected to get in for this year.
and if you make a change,
If we make a change,
that
then like I
changes.
said, we're gonna be behind, like we were before.
So it's currently the 25th. Would the 28th be able to keep you still within that?
It depends on how the 28th and the 25th fall,
Look,
right? Because the 28th could fall on a Saturday or a Sunday.
most people know that water bill is due the 20th. I mean, please.
We mail that out the 30th or the 31st, so they get
You
the
know
20
it.
days right on the appointment.
People get paid every 2 weeks or 30 days. So if you come in here on the 20th and you don't have it on the 20th, it's gonna be 2 weeks before you get paid.
It's called budgeting,
Then you
Danny.
call,
Yeah.
then you come.
These
and you
people
ask
aren't-
us, and we help you. We
How?
help so many people, and you don't, I mean, it's fine if you don't know about it, but we do what we can. We don't, I mean, like this last time, how many people we cut off? 12 compared to 30? No, we help people every month, you can't say we don't.
And then they getting this recording now. I get it twice a month. Just for your water bill is due.
So you don't wanna help the people? You
Now,
just
don't
want
go
them to,
there.
I'm just asking you, I'm asking the question, you don't
I
want to
want
help
to
them?
help people when it's needed.
It is needed.
This is not needed. You know your water bill is due the 20th, you pay your water bill due the 20th. You got responsibilities. I'm helping you do your responsibilities. Pay your water bill when it's due.
Phone calls just started happening. They ain't been happening.
So what?
Phone calls just started happening.
Well, that's a good thing
Is
then.
that?
That's an
Okay.
improvement. That's a good thing.
So,
Remind you that your water bill is due the 20th.
It is an improvement. Our water's still brown.
so we are out
Your
of
pipes
public
under your house,
forum right
okay?
now.
Are your pipes under your house?
Yeah. we're out of public forum, so we'll just move on talking amongst ourselves at our board meeting. So, did you started to make a motion? I don't know if you made one. And then hearing from the clerk, the issue on extending it is being able to start that second billing cycle and trying to keep people from having two bills on one bill. Is that right?
That's right.
So preventing last month from rolling over to next month is the goal.
That's how we got in trouble before, because we allowed so much time, and people could not catch up.
So this keeps them from getting too far behind to catch up.
5 days.
So if you extend it past the next mailing, you're gonna have two of them at the same time, and that creates conflict here.
That's right.
Creates issues here as far as collections is concerned.
What's the furthest you could go if the board decided to give 2-3 more days? What's the furthest you could go?
Like I said, it's gonna depend on the date, on when the date falls, but, I mean, we need at least 2 days to do the billing. But then, like, it takes almost a half a day to do cutoffs, and then, how people pay. So, I mean, the 26th is really, like, maybe the 27th, but that would really be it.
Okay.
So that we can
Do we have the
something else.
27th?
Yeah, let's take the 27th.
Okay, so we can make a motion for that.
And see y'all sitting right over there making a decision about that.
But he
making
was
a
gonna make a
decision.
motion. We're just talking. He's just talking to you.
She just made a comment, and I said the 27th.
He asked me what would be the ultimate, I mean, what would be the last date we could, and like I said, though, it kind of depends on how the date falls. If it falls on Friday or Saturday or Sunday, then all bets are off, and we'll have to do it a day early.
That's a good point.
I think it ought to say like it is.
Calculator, I mean, the calendar.
And going back to your question, Steve, yes, we've been having a lot of problems with the post office. I've been speaking with the man from Greensboro, the bulk mail supervisor. He's got us on the right track now, but the town of Spring Hope's post office has to comply with what he says, and that right now they're not doing it. So, that's an issue. I can't control what they do, I can only
Understand.
control what we do, and we're doing exactly what he tells us to do. We're
Understand.
following the rules.
So right now it's the 25th. If there was a compromise,
Right now, it's the 26th.
26.
That's what I'm saying, we really can't do a whole lot, because.
If you come and pay your bill on the 25th, excuse me, after 12 o'clock, you charge a late fee. Mr. Sessom came in and paid
We charge a late fee on the 21st.
Late fees on the 21st,
no grace period.
cutting it off on the
That is a
20th.
grace period. The
No.
20 days is the grace period. Your bill is due upon receipt. You have already used the good or service. You have used it the month prior, so it's due when you receive it. The grace period is the 20 days.
I think the only month that 27 would affect is February. Everything else is,
That's what I'm saying, it just
it
depends.
falls within like the time to do it.
I don't really think a day is gonna make any difference.
That's just one day. We're talking about the disconnect, right? Going from the
Yeah.
26th to the 27th. It's just a day.
Doesn't really make sense.
Give
I
them
say
one.
leave it alone. I do too.
Well, let's make does anybody want to make a motion?
I make a motion, we leave the water bill, payment system as is.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Okay, motion carries. Thank you.
I want to make a motion that we go into closed session for personal matters.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do we have any ayes over here?
We said aye.
Huh? Okay. Okay, motion carries. We're going into closed session. And at closed session, we have to ask everybody to vacate the property.
Well, do you want to finish this?
Thank y'all for being here.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, can we not finish this agenda?
How about you, sir? Good to see y'all.
It already did. The only thing left is report staff. How you doing? That's the only thing left.
It's without the staff.
Huh?
It's without the staff.
That's what you said?
Yeah.
To talk, just to talk to the attorney.
Yeah. And then we go back in the
I know you have.
What, Comcast? Right now it is, yeah.
Might be Comcast Live.
Really?
I will,
I love it, Ray.
this is a new software. I'll try to.
They were.
was that?
I love it, Ray.
What day was that? It's just crazy that they can take them over there on the 31st, and I didn't get my last one until the 17th.